Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make progressive house like Martin Garrix. I'm going to go over how I made this progressive house track inspired by Martin Garrix, and through that you'll learn how to make your own track. So the first thing I like to do when I make any song is to start by laying down some chords and a melody to go along with it. I have these chords layered on this pluggy kind of interesting sound, and it sounds like this. So this is basically the only thing I have in the first intro bit of the song. And then for the verse, I duplicated these chords, took the same chords, and I put it on a piano sound from Flex. Next thing I added was a sub bass, where I just copied the bass notes from the chords. Then I added this sweep effect to kind of transition into the verse section, where we have a kick drum, a ride, and then I have these ambient effects. And with that we get this verse. So for this section I decided to take the piano and then also layer the chords and melody on some strings, just to get a bit more of an emotional section with more acoustic instruments. And this is just strings from Flex, which is a free plugin if you have FL Studio. And then I added a few toms to kind of make it a bit more epic, I guess. And that's pretty much it for the breakdown, which sounds like this. So in the build-up we have a pad bass, so it kind of plays the same notes that the sub bass does. It's just a different sound. I also added some claps and some impacts. Right before the drop hits, I decided to go with like a big snare. But you can also go with like some drum fills or a different way to go into the drop. The final element of the build-up is the main drop lead, which is introduced with a fruity filter. And the drop lead for this song is just the same melody from the main chords I showed you at the beginning. So the drop lead in this song consists of a lot of different layers. If you want a more detailed explanation of how to make big leads, I have a video dedicated to that topic that you can go check out. But that's basically it for the build-up, which sounds like this. Now in order to make the drop as big as we want to for like a progressive house, we need a bunch of different elements that kind of go together and make it this big drop. We of course have the lead that I showed you earlier. Next thing we have is some chords. So this right here is some piano chord where I've taken the chords from the rest of the song. I just changed up the rhythm. Then I have some synths playing the same chords. And the idea of the piano chords and synth chords is to kind of fill out the mid frequencies, because we already have the lead taking a lot of the highs. So that's why for the EQ I've taken out some of the high frequencies. Next thing we have is the mid bass, and this is just the bass notes of the chords I showed you before. And this one also consists of a bunch of different layers. Together with a little bit of distortion and some OTT on, we get this sound. For the mid bass, we want to make sure that we cut off the very low sub frequencies, because the next thing we have is the sub bass, which takes care of those frequencies. And all of these elements are all routed to this side chain. For the drums, we just have a punchy kick, a ride, some drop claps, down risers and impacts. Then here at the end we have a snare fill. And for the second part of the drop we have hi-hats. And that's pretty much it for the elements in the drop. So feel free to take as much inspiration as you want from this track, and I would really appreciate it if you like the video, if you enjoyed it. And without further ado, let's check out the full track.